Silas Whitmore stepped onto his porch at dawn, coffee cup in hand, expecting the quiet rhythm of another day tending his cornfields. The air was crisp, the Iowa sky streaked with pink, and his farm stretched out in orderly rows of struggling corn. But as he scanned the field, his heart lurched. 4 women, all visibly pregnant, were clawing at the earth with their bare hands, digging frantically between the corn rows. Their dresses, once fine, now torn and caked with mud, clung to their swollen bellies. Their faces, streaked with dirt and exhaustion, betrayed a haunting confusion. Silas's cup slipped from his hand, shattering against the porch steps as he bolted toward them, boots pounding the packed dirt. The women froze at his approach. The first, with matted auburn hair, scrambled backward, her belly so large she struggled to move. "Please," she gasped, "we don't know how we got here." Her voice trembled with fear, her eyes wide and disoriented. Silas slowed, raising his hands to show he meant no harm. "What are you doing on my land?" he asked, keeping his tone gentle despite the shock tightening his chest. A younger woman with blonde hair burst into tears. "We woke up here," she sobbed. "In the dirt. We don't remember anything." The third, older with dark hair, struggled to her feet. "Sir, we're not causing trouble. We just felt this need to dig here, like something was calling us." The fourth, silent until now, whispered, "The tea. I remember the tea tasted strange." Silas's blood ran cold. For pregnant women, all in advanced stages of pregnancy, with no memory of how they'd arrived on his farm, driven to dig in his field. Their clothes, quality fabric, now ruined, suggested they came from means, but their gaunt faces told of days without food. "What's the last thing you remember?" he asked. The auburn-haired woman pressed her hands to her temples. "A preacher. He had kind eyes. He was helping us. But it's all fog after that." The others nodded, their faces blank, as if their pasts had been erased. Silas's throat tightened. Something was deeply wrong. He led them to his porch, their steps unsteady from exhaustion and the weight of their pregnancies. They introduced themselves: Clara, auburn-haired; Mercy, blonde; Ruth, dark-haired; and Abigail, the quiet one. None recalled their last names. Silas brought water, bread, dried meat, and preserves his late wife had made years ago. They ate with desperate hunger, and he noticed their hands, raw, bleeding, dirt packed under their nails from digging. "When did you last eat?" he asked. "Days, maybe," Clara said, her hand resting protectively on her belly. "Time feels strange." Then she added, her voice low, "The babies are coming soon. All of ours. The preacher said they'd arrive together when the time was right." "What preacher?" Silas pressed. Ruth's eyes grew distant. "Father Gabriel. He said we were chosen to carry his mission forward." The words, "his mission," sent a chill down Silas's spine. He'd heard whispers from nearby towns about charismatic religious leaders exploiting vulnerable women. "Where were you before him?" he asked. Each woman's story was eerily similar. Clara had been widowed, left with a small ranch. Mercy, a shopgirl in Silver Creek, was grieving her husband's death. Ruth, a schoolteacher, lost her job when her school closed. Abigail, heir to a large ranch, had been alone after her father's death. Father Gabriel had found them all, alone, desperate, vulnerable, offering shelter and purpose at his mission. "North," Clara said hesitantly. There were mountains, a big wooden building with crosses. Ruth's voice trembled. "We all had the same dream last night. To come here, to this spot, and dig." Silas's gaze shifted to the holes they'd clawed in his field. What were they searching for? And why did he feel that whatever was buried there was something Father Gabriel never meant for them to find? Against his better judgment, Silas decided to help. "You shouldn't be digging in your condition," he told them. "Show me where." Clara pointed to a spot 50 yards from the house. Shovel in hand, Silas dug into the hard-packed earth. After 20 minutes, his blade hit something solid, wood, not rock. The women gathered closer, despite his protests. He uncovered a wooden crate, recently buried, its wood unrotted. Clara gasped as he pried it open, revealing dozens of documents, birth certificates, marriage licenses, property deeds, and photographs of women who looked strikingly like the four on his porch. Ruth clutched a birth certificate for a Clara Whitfield, dated 3 years ago, stating she died in childbirth. "This can't be right," Clara said, trembling. "I'm not dead." But as Silas sifted through the papers, a horrifying pattern emerged. Over 20 women, all alone and pregnant, had come to Father Gabriel's mission, died in childbirth, and had their property transferred to him. Multiple birth certificates bore the same names, Clara, Mercy, Ruth, Abigail, with different dates, as if Gabriel replaced each dead woman with a lookalike to continue his scheme. "He's not running a mission," Silas said grimly. "He's running a swindle. Finds women with property, drugs them, gets them to sign everything over, then, they die in childbirth." Mercy, hit by a contraction, clutched her belly. "What happens to the babies?" The answer lay in a letter at the crate's bottom, in Gabriel's handwriting. "The Hartwell couple will pay $500 for a healthy infant. The Riverside family, $300. These arrangements ensure the mission's financial stability." Silas's hands shook with rage. "He's selling the babies." Clara doubled over, another contraction hitting. "My baby, he was going to sell my baby." Ruth sobbed, "Why did we come here? Why dig?" Silas looked at the crate. "Someone else buried this. Someone who escaped and wanted you to find the truth." The sound of horses broke the moment, multiple riders approaching fast from the north. Silas grabbed his rifle. Inside, now. 3 men rode into the yard, led by Gabriel Morrison, a tall figure in a black coat with a preacher's false warmth. "Brother Silas," Gabriel called, dismounting. "You have something that belongs to me." "These women don't belong to anyone," Silas replied, rifle ready. Gabriel's smile didn't waver. "They're under my spiritual care. Their families are worried." Silas scoffed. "They can't remember having families." Gabriel's 2 companions, Marcus and John, looked like hired muscle, not missionaries. Clara cried out from inside, in labor. Gabriel's eyes gleamed. "She needs medical attention. Complications happen on isolated farms." Silas raised his rifle. "I found your documents. 23 women, dead in childbirth, their property in your name." Gabriel's smile faltered. "You don't understand our service." Silas shot back, "You drugged them, stole their lives." Another cry from inside, Mercy was in labor too. The standoff tightened. A 4th horse approached. A woman in men's clothes, carrying a doctor's bag, stepped forward. Father Gabriel, still collecting lost sheep. Gabriel's composure shattered. "Elizabeth. You're supposed to be dead." "Sorry to disappoint," she replied. "I buried those documents after escaping with my daughter." She revealed Gabriel's scheme, drugging women with memory-altering tea, forging documents, selling babies. As Clara's newborn cried, Gabriel signaled Marcus to the back door, but Elizabeth fired a warning shot. "The next one's through your heart." Silas lied, "Sheriff Davidson's on his way with those documents." Gabriel's face paled. Elizabeth added, "I made copies. Warrants are out in 3 counties." Defeated, Gabriel and his men rode off. 3 weeks later, Silas's farmhouse brimmed with life. Clara and Mercy's babies thrived under Elizabeth's care. The women's memories returned, Clara's ranch, Mercy's savings, Ruth's house, Abigail's inheritance. Sheriff Davidson arrested Gabriel in Denver with $50,000 in stolen assets. The women decided to stay, pooling resources to work the farm. "We want our children to grow up as family," Clara said. Silas, whose lonely farm had found new purpose, agreed. I'd be honored.